Have you ever felt like someone was manipulating you, but you couldn't quite explain how? Sometimes people influence others in ways that are so subtle we barely notice them. They might guide conversations, control emotions, or slowly shape decisions without being obvious about it. Psychology calls this manipulation through behavioral influence. Now, not all influence is bad. Persuasion can be used positively in leadership, communication, and negotiation. But dark psychology refers to the tactics people use to control, pressure, or manipulate others for personal gain. The truth is, many people use these techniques without realizing how powerful they are. In this video, you'll discover 10 dark psychology tricks people use to control others, so you can recognize them and protect yourself. Once you understand these behaviors, you'll start noticing them everywhere. Let's begin. 1. The silence trick. One of the most powerful manipulation tools is silence. When someone asks you a question or confronts you, staying silent can create psychological pressure. Humans naturally feel uncomfortable with silence. Our brains try to fill the gap. Because of this discomfort, the other person often starts talking more than they intended. They may reveal extra information, change their opinion, or even apologize unnecessarily. Skilled manipulators understand this. They simply stay quiet and let the other person talk themselves into a weaker position. 2. The guilt technique. Guilt is a powerful emotional trigger. Some people manipulate others by making them feel responsible for something that isn't truly their fault. They may say things like, "I guess you just don't care about me. After everything I've done for you, I thought you were different." These statements create emotional pressure. Instead of discussing the real issue, the conversation becomes about relieving guilt. Once someone feels guilty, they become much easier to influence. 3. The false choice strategy. Another clever manipulation tactic is giving someone the illusion of choice. Instead of asking whether someone agrees with something, a manipulator may offer two options that both lead to the same result. For example, do you want to finish this today or tomorrow morning? At first, it sounds like a choice, but both options lead to the same outcome, completing the task. This technique subtly guides decisions without making the other person feel controlled. 4. The compliment trap. Flattery can sometimes be used as a manipulation tool. A manipulator may begin with compliments to lower someone's defenses. For example, "You're the most responsible person here. I trust you more than anyone else." After building that positive feeling, they may ask for a favor or request something difficult. Because the compliment created emotional warmth, the other person often feels pressure to meet the expectation. The request suddenly feels harder to refuse. 5. The confusion technique. Sometimes manipulators overwhelm people with too much information. They may talk quickly, change topics frequently, or introduce complicated explanations. This creates confusion. When people feel mentally overloaded, they often stop analyzing carefully and simply agree to end the conversation. This tactic is sometimes used in arguments or negotiations. Confusion weakens logical thinking and makes influence easier. 6. The fear trigger. Fear is one of the strongest psychological motivators. Some people manipulate others by suggesting negative outcomes. For example, "If you don't do this, things could get worse. You might regret this decision later." These statements create uncertainty and anxiety. When fear is present, the brain focuses on avoiding danger rather than thinking logically. This makes people more likely to accept suggestions quickly. 7. The everyone agrees illusion. Humans naturally follow social groups. This is called social proof. Manipulators sometimes claim that everyone supports their opinion. They may say, "Everyone thinks this is the best decision. Most people agree with me." Even if it's not true, this statement creates the feeling that disagreeing would be unusual or risky. People often follow what they believe the majority supports. 8. The urgency pressure. Creating urgency is another powerful influence technique. When someone says something must happen immediately, it reduces the time available for careful thinking. Examples include, "This offer is only available today. You need to decide right now." Urgency pushes people into quick decisions, and quick decisions are easier to influence than thoughtful ones. 9. The victim role. Some manipulators gain control by presenting themselves as the victim. They describe situations in ways that make others feel sympathy or responsibility. For example, "I always get treated unfairly. No one ever helps me." This approach encourages others to step in and solve the problem for them. Over time, this behavior can become a pattern of emotional control. 10. The gradual request strategy. This technique is known in psychology as the foot in the door effect. It works like this. First, someone asks for a small favor. Once that favor is accepted, they slowly increase their requests. Because the person already agreed once, they feel more likely to continue saying yes. Over time, the requests become larger than the person originally intended to accept. This gradual escalation is one of the most effective influence techniques. Understanding dark psychology doesn't mean using it to manipulate others. Instead, it helps you recognize when someone may be trying to control or pressure you. Awareness is the first step towards protecting yourself from manipulation. The more you understand human behavior, the easier it becomes to notice hidden intentions in conversations and relationships. Psychology reveals that influence is everywhere, in communication, negotiation, and everyday life. But when you understand these patterns, you gain the ability to think more clearly and make decisions on your own terms. If you enjoy learning about psychology and human behavior, subscribe for more videos like this. Because the more you understand the human mind, the more power you have over your own choices.